a brand new video on my channel, and today is a video I did want to do at the start of the month, but it's sort of headed towards the end of the first week of the month, so it's still at the beginning of September, but it's a little bit later than I planned. But I figured, seeing as all the kids have now gone back to school, why not give you guys my top 10 high school movies. So these are the movies that are set in or around high school, but these are the ones that I either watched quite a bit growing up, so a part of my childhood, or some of them are more recent watches, and so I thought I'd give you guys my top 10. Some of them I do own, some of them I don't, so bear with me as I go through this list. By the way, I do not miss school whatsoever. Like, the only thing I miss is the 6 weeks holidays that you got off. That's it. But yeah, so let's get into it. So at number 10, I thought I did own it, but apparently I don't. And that is John Tucker Must Die. This is basically a group of high school girls try and get revenge on the player high school boy. I only watched this a few years ago, and I'm quite surprised at how much I enjoyed it. But then at the same time, you can't really go wrong with revenge stories, especially if it's in high school. At number 9 is one I do actually own, and it's one of the musical ones. And that is, of course, High School Musical. This would not be my top 10 musical list, my top 10 high school list, without High School Musical included. I was obsessed with this in high school when I watched it, and I loved all three movies, but I thought I'd shelf the first one because it's an absolute classic, and one I haven't watched in a very long time, so I might have to revisit it now or in September. Okay, the next one is another classic, but this one is from the 90s, so we're going a little bit further back, and that is Clueless. There was no way I was not going to include this, especially after having the chance to watch it on the big screen not that long ago. So, yeah, if you're a bit of a girly girl, you probably will enjoy this film. If you're not a massive fan of girly films, because this is quite girly, you might not like it as much, but I'd still recommend giving it a go because it is a good laugh. Some absolutely classic one-liners in this film, and pretty much my go-to high school movie after High School Musical, and my top 2. Okay, at number 7 is another classic. I believe this is from the 90s as well. I could be wrong, correct me if I am wrong, and that is 10 Things I Hate About You. Yes, this is still in its HMV wrapping. But yes, so 10 Things I Hate About You. I actually only watched this a few years ago, kind of like with John Tucker Must Die. And I actually ended up enjoying this more than I thought I would. Heath Ledger did an absolutely amazing character in this. I'd only ever seen him as the Joker, so it's quite nice to see him in something else. And then Julia Stiles, I think she did great. And I think her speech to him at the end, such an amazing speech. And some classic lines as well. So, yeah, again, another classic. There's some in here I didn't add, like 17 again. I do enjoy that one. It's a boy-girl thing. So there is a lot of other high school movies, but these are the ones that I sort of like gravitate towards more. At number 6 is Mean Girls. Of course, this would not be a high school movie list without Mean Girls. Come on. An absolute classic. Yet again, another girly one, but this is sort of like less girly than Clueless, I think. So I think you can get away with this one a bit more. But if you haven't watched Mean Girls, definitely watch it. And you know what? The musical one wasn't that bad. Not great, but it wasn't bad either. Okay, and we're now into the top 5. At number 5, I had to include this vampire one because I thought, why not? And that is Vampire Academy. I remember picking this up for one of my birthdays a good few years ago now. And I just fell in love with it. I love vampires. I love the actors in this. I love the fact that they're different kind of vampires. You know, you've got Strigoi and things like that. So, absolutely fun, supernatural high school movie. I didn't go for Twilight because you know what? I think this is better. But yeah, so Vampire Academy. If you want a supernatural high school movie, this is one I'd recommend. Okay, at number 4 is another one that I don't own, which I thought I did. I could have sworn I did. And that is Easy A. This is more of an adult high school movie because it's got a lot of swear. Well, it's not got a lot of swearing in it, but it's got a sort of like, it's all about sort of like the Scarlet Letter in a sense. But this is one of Emma Stone's breakout roles, and it's just hilarious. So if you want a more grown-up high school movie, that's one I'd recommend. And now into our top 3. So at number 3 is another more grown-up one, and I feel like this one doesn't get talked about as much as I'd like. Centurions. How do people not watch Centurions? Honestly, it's an absolute classic. And I also like the second one as well, which has got David Tennant in it. If you want a more badass high school movie, seriously recommend this one. A lot of actors got quite a few, like you got Robert Everett, Colin Firth, Lena Headey, and there's a lot of other actors in this that did an amazing job. So if you haven't watched Centurions, do watch that. And the top 2 are absolute classics in my collection. I think everyone knows what my number 1 will be, but my number 2 is The Breakfast Club, an absolutely classic 80s movie. My friend Curtis actually got me this for my birthday, the DVD copy, and I'm glad I eventually watched it. So, Breakfast Club, an 80s classic. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Okay, and this wouldn't be finishing off without this classic, and that is Grease. Grease is always going to be my favourite high school movie. I was kind of like Sandy growing up, that, you know, nerdy, innocent girl. And, of course, it wouldn't be a high school movie list without it. Plus there's a musical as well, so had to include another one. But yeah, so that is my top 10 high school movies, a mix of vampires, comedies, musicals, you name it. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also notification bell. And leave me your comments down below, your top 10 high school movies. Let me know, and I'll see you guys later.